This is the Net Group Investments Insights Podcast, where one or more of our experts explore a variety of views and insights that investors care about.
Hello, I'm Trevor Garvin from Net Group Investments Multi-Manager. Welcome to this week's Market and Economic Wrap, entitled D-Day for New York Mayoral Elections, whilst SA Protea women's team make us proud. South Africa is in the final month of being the G20 hosts for the year, with a gathering in Joburg in a few weeks of the G20 leaders to discuss a range of matters, from emerging market growth to fiscal stability and global conflicts. Joburg is in the final stages of preparations. Prince Andrew, younger brother of King Charles in the United Kingdom, has been stripped of all titles and privileges due to his ties with convicted sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein. And today is when New Yorkers go and vote for their next mayor in a controversial mayoral race, with Democratic candidate Zoran Mamdani against Andrew Cuomo, an independent, being the two candidates. It is expected to be a close race. US President Donald Trump and Chinese Premier Xi Jinping's meeting on Thursday yielded positive outcomes, with the leaders of the two economic superpowers agreeing to continue their trade talks. In the meantime, the US will lower its 20% import tariff on Chinese goods to 10%, while China will relax its controls on the export of rare earth minerals and significantly increase its purchase of US soybeans and other agricultural products. We also need to mention the impressive Springbok rugby victory over Japan this past weekend, as well as the amazing display by the Protea's women's cricket team in the one-day International World Cup finals, narrowly losing out to India, with captain Laura Wolfhard making her second century in a row. Turning to the investment markets, the rand firmed early in the week, trading at around 17.15 rand to the dollar last week on Tuesday, as global market sentiment was buoyed by Donald Trump's positive outcome in his talks with Chinese Premier Xi Jinping. On the local front, the country's removal from the Financial Action Task Force grey list added to the upbeat information. However, the local unit has surrendered most of the gains to hover around 17.34 rand this morning. The dollar has traded generally firmer this past week, but today is softer as the euro draws support from the European Central Bank's announcement that it could keep its policy interest rates steady for quite some time into the future. The pound also continues to weaken, currently at its lowest level since May, around worsening concerns about the UK fiscus ahead of the autumn budget speech on November the 26th. The JSE All-Share Index fell as weaker pressure metal prices hit basic materials. Resource stocks were down 6% for the past week, and gold is trading below the $4,000 per ounce mark. Industrial stocks were slightly up 0.25%, helped by gains in retail, while financials were barely moved, gaining only 0.2% for the month. US markets recorded solid gains early in the week before retreating, following Fed Chair Jerome Powell's cautious remarks about future rate cuts. The Nasdaq reached a new record high last week, buoyed by solid and consistent earnings from companies. Nvidia's valuation rose above $5 trillion, the first corporate in history to break through that level. In Europe, stocks remained flat as the ECB's decision to hold rates was in line with expectations. Investors are now looking ahead to the December meeting for any policy shifts in interest rate policies. The Nikkei was bolstered by the positive mood after the meeting between President Trump and Prime Minister Takaichi, with Trump urging Americans to buy Toyotas. In the bond market, the yield on the benchmark SA 10-year government bond dipped to 8.85% on Wednesday, before edging higher to 8.87 in line with the weaker exchange rate. While in the US, the 10-year Treasury yield rose to 4.1% from 3.95 last week after the Fed chair sounded a warning about tariff inflation. In commodity markets, the Brent crude oil price has fallen to around $62 per barrel, resulting in petrol prices falling by 51 cents a litre from tonight at the petrol stations. The gold price is trading at $3,934 an ounce after it had reached a record high after a blistering surge that saw it gain 32.4% in the 4 weeks since August the 19th. Markets have shown fantastic returns this year, which perhaps signals some degree of caution is needed in the next few months. That brings us to an end of this week's Market Wrap. Till next time, with thanks, Trevor.
This podcast is for marketing purposes only. The information contained in the podcast or video was for information purposes and does not constitute advice, recommendation, or an offer or solicitation to purchase or sell any funds or strategies to any person in any jurisdiction in which the offer, recommendation, or solicitation to purchase would be unlawful.